Hey, it's Emily from that'swhatiEat.com, and today I'm going to show you what to do with that delicious stock that you made from the chicken that you had in the crock pot, and how to use that to make a really simple soup. Soup is so easy, so good for you, such a good way to keep it real and use real food. We're going to start out with a mirepoix. A mirepoix is a fancy French word that basically means onion, carrot, celery. That's it. And there's an equation. There's like 2 parts onion, 1 part carrot, 1 part celery is a typical mirepoix. I just kind of chop it up and do whatever. So take this, and to start out, I have a pan over here, and I've had some butter melting. Throw it in there. I'm going to add some salt and pepper. It's a teaspoon or 2, I just eyeball it. And some pepper. We're going to let that cook for a minute. If you are the kind of person who doesn't like onions, then we can't be friends anymore. But for real, if you don't like onion, you can leave it out. It just adds a lot of really great flavor to this soup. So you could chop the chunks big enough, you can pick them out or something. But I suggest just leave the onions in there and eat them. They're wonderful. They're delicious. Okay, so we're going to let this cook down a little bit, and then we'll be back to show you the next step. All right, our vegetables, our mirepoix has had a chance to cook down a little bit. And so I'm going to come over here, I'm going to add a few more things. Now the thing that I love about doing soup for meals is that I can clean out my fridge. Any vegetables that need to be used soon, I throw them in the soup. You can use any vegetables you have on hand. You're going to see we're going to recycle a few leftovers here in a minute. But first we had some mushrooms on hand, and we love mushrooms, so I'm going to put those in there. Also, at this point, after the veggies have cooked down a little bit, I like to add just a little bit of fresh garlic. It just really gives it some great flavor. So stir those in. We're going to let this continue cooking a little bit longer, and then I'll show you how we really put those leftovers to work. Okay, so our mushrooms and our garlic have had a chance to get in the party and get really happy. And so I'm going to add a little bit of different seasonings right now. You can do whatever you want seasoning-wise. Some Italian seasonings would be great, different herbs. When I'm making chicken soup, which is what this is going to be, for some reason sage and chicken just really speak to me. So I'm going to add probably about a tablespoon of ground sage. Just really love that combination together. It reminds me of chicken soup when you're sick, or it's a real homey comfort food. All right, so now we're going to put our leftovers to work. This is actually leftover chicken, both from our crock pot meal and from another meal that we had a couple nights later where we used some different chicken on the grill. So I'm just going to use all of our leftover chicken and pour it in. Also over here I have some rice, again from a meal I don't know, a few days ago, that we're never going to use all of this rice. So I'm going to make a chicken and rice soup. Now if you don't have leftover rice, you can use whatever you have on hand. You could cook up some pasta and have it be a chicken noodle. You could cut in some potatoes and have that be your starch, or you could just have a chicken and vegetable soup. Do whatever you want. At this point, I'm going to add a little bit more salt and pepper. Just with adding so many new components, it probably needs a little more seasoning. So we're not going to go too crazy because we can correct the seasonings at the end. But it's good to season as you go, and then the flavors can really meld in there. Okay. And now I'm also going to add the beautiful chicken stock that I made from our leftover chicken in a crock pot. You see I have it here. It will get this kind of stuff on the top. That is actually the gelatin. It's so good for your digestive tract and for your bones, so don't skim that off. This is actually a really concentrated broth. I let it go for a long time. So I'm going to cut it with some water, just because I know it's strong. But if your broth is not as strong, go ahead and just do it straight. You can just taste it to see where it's at. I like my soup really chunky and hearty, so probably about there. Another great thing about soup like this is when you're done, you can freeze the leftovers. I like to freeze them in individual portion sizes to send with my daughter for her school lunches. So it's a great way to give her a nice hot meal during the week. And there you have it. There's our soup. We're going to let it cook for a while. I will then taste it and see if it needs any more salt or other seasonings. And then we're going to have a delicious dinner. And it's very quick, probably about half an hour from start to finish, and you have fresh homemade soup. So I hope you guys give it a try.